joining us again. Hey, so we're doing something new on our homestead. Our homestead is fairly new. We've lived here quite some time. Just recently in the last year or two have decided to kind of do some homesteading, some gardening, and I do canning and I put up our vegetables and things like that. But there is something that we're doing that's new for us this year, and I want to bring you guys along on the journey, and I will share with you in just a minute what that is. We are learning as we go, and I'm hoping that I can share some tips or tricks with you guys on how to do things maybe a little bit better than what we've done, but we are learning as we go. It is a learning experience. I have had fun, but there has been some frustration, and I'm hoping that by sharing this with you guys that we can help the next person who wants to do this on their homestead maybe do it a little bit better. So come with me and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm out here in our garage right now, and I have a tub here, and I've got some pine shavings in this tub. I think I might take this out and do something a little bit different. That's part of what this is part of the learning journey that I was talking about. But we are going to be getting some baby chicks in a couple of days, and raising some chickens on our homestead. And I know that's probably a given when you're talking about homesteading, is having chickens on the homestead, but it's kind of been something that my husband and I have disagreed on over the years. I've really wanted chickens for several years. He's been a little bit more hesitant. He had chickens when he was a kid, and I think maybe has some memories of maybe cleaning out chicken coops. I don't know, but he's not a big fan of chickens. But with the price of eggs these days, and I think I've won him over to my side. Hopefully, I think things will go good. I'm really looking forward to having chickens. Like I said, I've wanted them for lots of years, but I wanted to make sure that I could have him in the same mindset that I'm in, because we're both going to be taking care of these animals, and we want to do the best that we can for them. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We've never had chickens on our little half acre here in the Arizona mountains, and so this is new for us. I'm excited. I can't wait. And so I'm going to bring you guys along just to see how things go. But I want to kind of go over like some of the things that I've learned just in this week of, things that I could have done better, and hopefully give some tips and maybe get some tips back from you guys on things that we can do or what to expect, because that would be great. I'd love to hear from you on your ideas. Maybe we could do something better besides this tub, which I already have some ideas about that, or anything. Just drop a comment and let us know. I'm sure there's lots of you out there that have chickens, and it'd be great to hear from some of you experts out there on what we could do different or better. So I'll go into kind of the steps of what we've done this week so far. Okay, so when Dee told me that he was on board with getting the chickens, I was so excited. And here in our little town, now we're in the mountains, and so it's pretty chilly up here. We just had snow yesterday. As a matter of fact, we had snow, and it's probably been in the 30s today. We get pretty chilly in the wintertime, especially during wet winters, and this winter has been a wet winter. So, we've been down to 2 or 3 degrees this year so far, and probably wind chills would be below 0 with those temps this year. So, this is new. we're getting these chicks. It's going to be mid-February, which is probably a little bit early in the season, but we wanted to make sure that we had a chance to get chickens this year. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to start raising chickens with, and with the price of eggs, like I said, and being more self-sufficient with our food. I'm sure that's a thought that a lot of people are having. So we wanted to go ahead and grab the chickens on the first round. I'm hoping it's not too early. We do have the garage that we can keep the chickens in for probably 12 to 14 weeks if we need to, until it gets warm enough outside. I've been reading up, and I know that you can put the chickens in the coop once the down is replaced with their feathers. And so not sure how long that takes, but I feel like we could probably keep them in here if we had to, until it's warm enough outside that they can be outside without any fear of them freezing or anything like that. If we kept them here for 8 weeks, it would probably be middle April, so temperatures usually do start warming up around that in that month for our area, but we still do get some pretty cold temperatures at night in April. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to play it by ear, and like I said, we're going to learn as we go. So this is what I've done so far. We got this big tub. I can't remember how many gallons it is. And we did put the shavings, the pine shavings in there. And we did get a heat lamp. Now, there's a lot of different opinions about heat lamps. The fear of them being knocked over or falling into the brooder box and catching on fire, injuring or killing the chickens, that kind of thing. But my husband, he's very handy, and he was able to install this hook into, the rafter of the top of the garage here, and hang this light on this chain here. And what's nice about this is this chain, there's a handle up there. I can, pull this chain up with that handle as we need to, to reduce the temperature as we go, as the chicks get older. Or I can even lower it if this isn't low enough. But that at that angle, or at that height right there, we were reading about 110 degrees at the highest point and about 85 at the lowest point. The chickens, from what I've read, will find the area that's comfortable for them. I don't have a light in it right now. I'm going to be putting a red light in there. I did test this setup with a regular clear light, and we're going to go ahead and use a red light though for the chickens so that it's not so bright on them, 24/7. So this setup works really well. That hook is going nowhere. Like I said, it's in the beam across the ceiling of the garage, so it's going nowhere, and we feel confident this light is not going to be going anywhere. So that's part of the setup. Now, I did order off of Amazon one of these heating plates, and so excited to get it. And it came in and it's missing pieces. So we do not have these stands right here. These stands that hold the heating plate up are missing. So I'm gonna have to return this, and I'm very, very, very disappointed because it's a perfect size. I was planning on kind of putting it on the side over there so that the chicks could get under it if they need to, if the lamp didn't work out. I at least have this alternative. And so, because I don't have all the pieces, it's going back to Amazon. See, you can see where it was kind of torn open. The box was torn open right here, and it's just kind of in a mess. And anyway, it was obvious this was returned to Amazon by someone else. And I did end up finding another heat plate here, but it's, as you can see, much bigger. I don't know that it's going to work in this tub. It would take up the whole tub probably. I haven't taken it out of the packaging yet, and there's nothing on this box that tells me, you know, the exact dimensions. So I thought I would try it and see, maybe I can just, you know, put it at this one end, and with their feeder and water in the middle. I don't know. Not sure if this is going to work. But the other issue is if it's pretty cold out here at night, I may just go ahead and move this bin into my house and keep the chickens in the house, you know, maybe for the first week and a half, because I have been reading that the baby chicks, when you first get them home, they really need to be in a controlled climate. So I'm kind of leaning towards doing that. And if I choose to do that, then I will just use a heating plate. I won't use the heat lamp. Our house stays usually between 60 and 70 degrees. And, you know, I know the chicks like 90 degrees is what I'm reading. So I think that a heating pad, this heating stand, would probably work really well if we're inside for the first week or 2 weeks indoors. So that's another thing that I've learned. We did go ahead and purchase the heat lamp because our original thought was we would keep them out here in the garage. But the more I've been reading and I've been coming out here, even during the day, it's probably in the mid-30s inside the garage. And so I'm just not sure. If you guys have any tips on that, if you guys can let me know what you think, that would be great. Drop a comment and kind of give us an idea of what you think would be a good thing for us to do. I'm kind of leaning, like I said, towards bringing them in the house for the first week and a half, putting them under the heat stand, and then maybe moving them out here after that. So when we first decided to do this, you know, my husband, he works out of town part of the week. So before he left to go back to work, I wanted to kind of get this some of this stuff set up and get an idea of, you know, so that we could both be on the same page of what we wanted to do. And so I did do some research. I read some articles. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and just to get an idea of what people do for brooder boxes. We didn't really have time to build a brooder box. I did look on Facebook Marketplace. I looked for some used brooder boxes, didn't find anything. I think everybody is just, you know, looking at raising chickens these days. It's kind of a thing. And so then we thought, well, we'd get this tub and start them out in this tub. So we got the tub, we got the shavings, and then I just happened to come across another YouTube video, the chicken chick, actually. And she has a lot of chickens, and she's been doing it for a long time, and she has a lot of knowledge. And she suggested using a puppy playpen, one that has a bottom, like a vinyl bottom to it, and also has sides around the pen so that it keeps the birds in, keeps the bedding in. And then there's also a top that zips, a vinyl top. And so I was like, that's genius. Like I would have never thought about that. So I thought, well, that would be good for when the birds get a little bit bigger. I like the idea of having the tub for when we first bring them home and they're small and they, you know, there's a very confined area for them. Maybe they won't feel so lost. The puppy playpen is going to be much bigger. but I was thinking probably after 2 to 3 weeks, we would be moving them into that playpen. So I went ahead and ordered one of those. And she also suggested putting some puppy pads on the bottom of the playpen just to help contain the, leakage and the manure issue, and help with the smell also. And so I thought that was a good idea too. So I went and bought some puppy pads. But all of this to say, like, I wish I would have come across this video in the beginning. And I'm glad that I finally did come across it. And I'm glad that I've, made some of these changes. But in the meantime, we had already, purchased a lot of things to get ready. And we'll use these things. And also the heater plate. Like, I didn't even know that these existed for chickens. So, she suggested that she is not a big fan of the heat lamps, and so she always uses a heater plate, but she keeps the birds the first 2 weeks, I believe, in her climate controlled home. And so the heater plate works for her. So that was another thing, is I had to think about where might I put, this tub inside my home that would work, for the controlled climate. And so all of those things came after we bought, the initial setup. The other thing that was, and that wasn't so frustrating as much as, just having to buy more, because I thought I was done. I thought my initial setup was done. And it wasn't too expensive, but I am purchasing more as I go, as I'm learning some of the better ways to raise these little baby chicks. Now, when we first were shopping for the initial setup, we went to Cow Ranch. Cow Ranch is just 2 minutes from our house. We ran in there to see, what they had available, and that's where we bought our initial purchase, everything that we bought, which was the tub, the light, the lamp, the bedding. Let's see, we bought a feeder and a waterer. And we noticed when we were in the store that they had a chicken startup set that included a feeder, a water, a lamp, a light. Didn't include bedding, but it did include some electrolytes for the water, I believe, and some books for new chicken owners, which I know I need a book. But we looked at that set and it was marked at $60, and I thought, wow, like we could buy. So we were able to buy the lamp. We were able to buy the little water and feeder for I think it was like $20 total. And I just couldn't understand why it would be $60. I mean, it did have the electrolyte and it did have the books. It included the light and the lamp and the water and feeder. But for $60, I felt like we would save money if we just bought each individual piece. So we decided to buy everything individually. I went to Tractor Supply to get the chicken book that I was looking for. And let me show you what that book is. It's called the Backyard Chicken Book. I flipped through it for a little bit. It's a beginner's guide. I felt like this is exactly what I need, is this book. And so I went ahead and purchased it. Then I went back to Cow Ranch because I wanted to get some of the chick food. And as I was looking, of course, looking just for all the different accessories and stuff, I see the little chick starter kit again, and it's marked down to $35. So I was a little bit frustrated by that, because I feel like, because it included the books, and with the book that I bought and the all the individual pieces. I paid a little bit more for everything all together. And so I was a little frustrated by that, but I can take it all back and get the starter kit, but I don't think I'm going to. I mean, I think it was maybe $5 or $10, somewhere between $5 and $10 difference that I paid, more. So, going through all the trouble of taking everything back to buy the set that's too much trouble for me for $5 to $10. But it was a little bit frustrating because I thought, why did they have it marked for $60 like 4 days ago, and now that's, marked to $35? Probably because the chickens are going to be here in a couple of days. So, so I probably, if I would have waited and not gotten so excited about getting everything, then it would have been fine. But it's okay. So, but what I want to say is, for those of you who might be doing this, starting off like we are, then the kit is probably a pretty good deal if you can get it for $35, because it will save you a little bit of money. And you get the books. I think there was 3 books actually, or 2 books in there. And at the time, the initial setup, I didn't have the electrolytes. So that was like $5 for 3 packs, and it'll last a while. I mean, I'm sure it'll last till the chicks are grown and out in the coop. So there was that too, and the kit included all of that. So that would be my first tip, is see if you can find a kit that includes everything that you're looking for. Now, the book that I bought at Tractor Supply is a little bit more substantial than the one that was in the kit, so I feel good about that. And, it kind of goes into, the different types of illnesses that chickens might come down with, and things that you can do to help them with that, when to contact a vet. I don't know if the little booklets that were in the kit includes all that information, but they were booklets. They were like 10 to 15 page booklets. And this is an actual, full-blown book. So I feel good about that, and I'm certain I will be consulting that book on a regular basis. So that was a little bit of the frustration that I dealt with. The heater plate that I ordered from Amazon. I was so frustrated by that because, I ordered it in time to get it here before the chicks got here. The chicks will be here. Today is Tuesday, and the chicks will be here on Thursday. And I will be down there first thing in the morning to get our chickens. So I wanted to get the heater plate ordered, and in the brooder box, warmed up by the time that I brought the chicks home. So they would be comfortable, they're going to be stressed out, and having the plate warmed up and in the right spot for them, and showing them, where their water is, where their food is, and then scooting them under that little heater plate was my ideal process. That's what I wanted to do, and I had it all worked out in my head how this was going to work. And it didn't work out that way. So anyway, that's how I had it all worked out in my head, how it was going to go down. And the fact that the plate was it's a mess. And honestly, I was like, well, I'll keep the plate and I will make my own stands. But the screws that screw into the side of the plate, they are not catching onto the threads. So they're just spinning. So it's not going to work anyway. Even if I did make my own stands, the screws aren't catching onto the plate. I'm sure that's why the plate was returned to Amazon. You can tell from the box that it was a return. The box is kind of torn open. It's, I could tell by the way the plug wire was all wrapped around that it was a return, and they just sent me someone else's return. Well, Amazon, there's a reason it was returned, because it doesn't work or there's something missing. So please don't send damaged and goods that have missing pieces back out to someone else. Please. So that's my little message to Amazon. Okay, so then another one of my frustrations was when we bought the heat lamp. Next to the heat lamps, they had all of the bulbs that go to the heat lamps right next to them, right next to the lamp, lined up in a row. And they had clear bulbs. And so I bought a pack of 2. All they had on the shelf was a pack of 2. I probably would have bought a pack of 1 if they had it on the shelf, but they didn't. So I bought a pack of 2 clear bulbs, got it home. We did try it out on the lamp to make sure, the height of the light was right, and, check the temperature, make sure that we left it on all night the first night just to, see how it went through the night. Came out here early in the morning the next morning and checked the temperature to make sure it didn't get too hot, that kind of thing. So we bought the 2 clear bulbs. So then I get home and thanks to Chicken Chick, she is awesome. She knows everything about chickens. I was watching another one of her videos, and while she doesn't really like the idea of a heat lamp with chickens, it would be better to use a red heat lamp than a clear lamp because they need to have, some kind of downtime. And the clear lamp just puts light on them, 24/7. They have no, sleep time available. Let me try that again. So the clear lights, just shine a bright light on the chickens all night long. And so they don't really have any downtime, and they need that downtime to sleep. So the suggestion was to buy a red lamp. And so I thought, okay, so I will take back the clear lamps and I'll get the red lamps. That shouldn't be a problem. So while I was at Cow Ranch today, I did return the 2 pack of the clear lamps, and I went back to get the red lamps, and I couldn't find the red lamps. so then I thought, well, okay, let me just look around. There were some other things that I wanted to get. And so I happened to walk down one of the aisles, and there up towards the top were the lamps, the lights. And they had clear, and they had red, and they had the single packs, which was what I really would have bought the first time if I had seen them next to the lamp. So, I understand that's marketing. That's what these stores do. If they can sell you 2, they're going to sell you 2 because it costs more than 1. So, but I went ahead and I was able to grab the 1 red lamp that I needed because I don't think I'm going to need more than 1. And usually I am a pretty detailed person, and I am the type of person that, will look around and do a lot of research before we make, any decisions. And I'm also very frugal. I like to get the best bang for my buck. And so, but I think when my husband was like, yeah, let's get chickens, I was just like, let's go. And I just jumped in with both feet and, wanted to get all of the supplies and set up. I was really excited. So, but that's just a learning experience. So get the red lights for the lamps, for the heat lamps, and they do carry 1 pack. So you don't have to get a 2 pack, and it's about half the price. So that's my little helper tip on what you can do differently or better than what we did. Okay, I had to come in because it is cold out there. I checked the temperature, it was 34 degrees in my garage. And so I am in here now. I am going to throw a log onto my wood burning stove. Got Addie girl right here. She loves to stand next to the wood burning stove to heat up. Scooch out of the way, Addie girl. Come on, scoot back. And I gotta throw a log on to keep this thing burning because it's nice and toasty in here. I've had the fire going all day. Sorry. And I'm just gonna keep it going as long as I can. We do have a heat pump that heats the house up during the wintertime. Like I said, keeps it between 60 and 70. But if we can, conserve energy using our wood burning stove, we will do that. And not only that, but it's kind of nice to have a fire in the wintertime. And but yeah, I just wanted to let you know. So I did check the temperature out there. It was 34 degrees. And I would say it was probably that cold all day out there today. So I'm leaning more towards bringing those chickens inside for the first week of their lives. It's more climate controlled in here. And so we'll probably do that. I also put the red light in, and tomorrow I will take out the bedding and put a puppy pad down in that tub. And I'm thinking maybe I'll bring the tub in and put it into my extra bathroom, put it in the tub, and that might work, you know, put the chickens in there. I do have some chicken wire I can put over the top so that they can't fly out. I'm thinking that might be a place to put them. I don't know. I don't really have any other place other than the entryway right behind the front door, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so another thing I wanted to show you guys was the feeder and the waterer that we ended up getting, that we chose. Now, I'm a canner, so I have lots and lots of canning jars. And I thought this was so cute, and it was really cheap. I think they were like $3.99 or something like that. And you just, you know, screw them onto your canning jar. And this is the water. Now, I've read that I need to put like marbles or rocks or something, gravel, some type of large gravel, into the watering part of this particular style water so that the chicks don't drown. I guess they can drown in something that even that shallow. And so I'll be doing that. We have, you know, large size gravel in our driveways. We live on a dirt road, so we do have the gravel that I can put in there. The other thing though that I was thinking about doing, and I saw one on Amazon, I think it was $10 for a nipple waterer, a nipple water container. You know, it's really easy for the chicks to get to them. They get just the right amount of water. They don't get too much. There's no danger of them drowning. They won't poop in their water. They won't kick the sawdust or the bedding into the water. And so I'm thinking I might go that route because I just think it would be easier. I imagine I'll probably be cleaning this out several times a day. But the reason I liked it is because of the canning jar. It's so cute. I just love that idea. That's just the cutest. And then here's the feeder. Same thing. Cute little, got my canning jar on there. So I will be using this feeder, even if I use a different waterer. So, but I wanted to show those to you, and they were fairly reasonable, $4 or $5, I think. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. Stay with us, and we'll just keep going on this journey. We'll just keep walking down this path and see how it goes. So again, if you guys have any ideas or anything that you think that we could do better, just drop a tip down there below, drop a comment. And thanks for following, thanks for listening and spending some of your time with us today, and we will see you on the next video. Bye.